going. I think one more. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom. And we begin our service, well, actually, we just began our service. We continue our service, the lighting of the Shabbat candles, like to call upon our bar mitzvah of tomorrow morning, the one and only Irving Schwartz, as well as his parents, Mary and Jay, and sister Cindy. There we go. Oh, yeah.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Lecha dodi likrat kala yelelai 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 b'nei Shabbat נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעלמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ואמרו Amen.
We continue with Baruch Hu. I invite you to rise if you are able. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim, v'tvuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'mesader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom mevi layla, u'mavdil ben yom u'ven layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo. Elachai v'kayam tamid imlo chalenu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Please be seated.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla negeh yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael.
I invite us to take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Another deep cleansing breath in.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
We continue with Ve'ahavta, led by our bar mitzvah of tomorrow morning, Mr. Irving.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anohim etzaveha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levaneha v'dibarta bam v'shifseha v'veteha uv'keha v'derek u'shok beha uv'kumeka וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניה, וכתבתם אל מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohim Emet.
We continue responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there's one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Ya ba ba bim bidi bum, ya ba ba bim bum. Ya ba ba bim bidi bum, ya ba ba bim bum. Ay 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 ay, ya ba ba bim bum. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bum. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, ma'alechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ya ba ba bim bidi bam, ya ba ba bim bam. Ya ba ba bim bidi bam, ya ba ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. V'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov uge'alo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkivenu, Veshalom, Ve'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu lechaim, Ufros aleinu, Sukat shlomecha, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Veshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We now continue with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah. I invite you to please rise if you're able.
Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufia Gitahi Hateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'anora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Ve'kanel Hakol, Ve'zoher Hasdei Avot, Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh Kohatah Rav le'ovia, Morin Hatav, Mehakel Hayim Behesed, Mehayeh HaKol Berahamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofer Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umehayeh Emuato Lishenei Afar, Mihamoka Ba'al Gevurot, Umidomela, Melech Memid, Umehayeh, Umatmiah Yeshua, Vene'eman atar lehayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mehayeh hakol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
We join together. God of all ages, enable us through Sabbath rest to learn, impart, and uphold the commandments and teachings of the Torah. May we strive for the triumph of your will. Make our hearts ready to serve you. We thank you, Adonai, for Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lached na'el lehotot.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael ve'et haolam bashalom.
Well, I don't know if you're aware, I'm sure you are, that this week was Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel Independence Day. So we've kind of had a really rough time, haven't we? It's been rough. I would say so, right? It's been a rough time. So I really felt for tonight that we needed some inspiration. So we're going to do two things. One is I'm going to show you a little clip of the moment that Israel was declared a country, because I don't know if you've seen it, but I think it's really powerful. We'll just do a short clip of that in a moment. But I'm also going to read a letter that a lot of us received this week from the students at Columbia University. And I've been passing around to lots of peeps, and I think you need to hear it. So I have copies for you I'm going to pass out in a moment. I'm going to read it because we need to hear these words. It's really powerful from my perspective to hear the voice of students. And as we all know, the universities, colleges, high schools as well, and we're hearing all kinds of stories from our students trying to reach out to them, making sure they know they have support. But it's a scary time. So to hear the voices of students, to me, is incredibly powerful right now. And it's interesting. Can I want to help me out? I'm going to have you pass these out with me. Go ahead and pass those out. Thanks, bud. Fix your pants if you want. We love our Irving. So what I did not include in this copy are the signatures. Why? Because it would have been about 2 or 3 more pages completely, and I didn't want to waste that paper. I just wanted to waste this amount of paper. Oops. Thanks, sir. So I think since you have it in your hands, I'm going to read this first, I think, and then we'll kind of end with the moment of independence. Thanks, Irving. In Our Name. I love that title. To the Columbia community, over the past 6 months, many have spoken in our name. Some are well-meaning alumni or non-affiliates who show up to wave the Israeli flag outside Columbia's gates. Some are politicians looking to use our experiences to foment America's culture war. Most notably, some are our Jewish peers who tokenize themselves by claiming to represent real Jewish values and attempt to delegitimize our lived experiences of anti-Semitism. We are here writing to you as Jewish students at Columbia University who are connected to our community and deeply engaged with our culture and history. We would like to speak in our name. Many of us sit next to you in class. We are your lab partners, your study buddies, your peers, and your friends. We partake in the same student government, clubs, Greek life, volunteer organizations, and sports teams as you. Most of us did not choose to be political activists. We do not bang on drums and chant catchy slogans. We are average students just trying to make it through finals, much like the rest of you. Those who demonize us under the cloak of anti-Zionism forced us into our activism and forced us to publicly defend our Jewish identities. Parenthetically, doesn't that suck? We have to defend our Jewish identities. Oy vey. We proudly believe in the Jewish people's right to self-determination in our historic homeland as a fundamental tenet of our Jewish identity. Contrary to what many have tried to sell you, no, Judaism cannot be separated from Israel. Zionism is, simply put, the manifestation of that belief. Our religious texts are replete with references to Israel, Zion, and Jerusalem. The land of Israel is filled with archaeological remnants of a Jewish presence spanning centuries. Yet, despite generations of living in exile and diaspora across the globe, the Jewish people never cease dreaming of returning to our homeland. Judea, the very place from which we derive our name, Jews. Indeed, just a couple of days ago, we all closed our Passover Seders with the proclamation, next year in Jerusalem. Many of us are not religiously observant, yet Zionism remains a pillar of our Jewish identities. We have been kicked out of Russia, Libya, Ethiopia, Yemen, Afghanistan, Poland, Egypt, Algeria, Germany, Iran, and the list goes on. We connect to Israel not only as our ancestral homeland, but as the only place in the modern world where Jews can safely take ownership of their own destiny. Our experiences at Columbia in the last 6 months are a poignant reminder of just that. We were raised on stories from our grandparents of concentration camps, gas chambers, and ethnic cleansing. The essence of Hitler's anti-Semitism was the very fact that we were not European enough. That as Jews, we were threats to the superior Aryan race. This ideology ultimately left 6 million of our own in ashes. The evil irony of today's anti-Semitism is a twisted reversal of our Holocaust legacy. Protesters on campus have dehumanized us, imposing upon us the characterization of the white colonizer. We have been told that we are the oppressor of all brown people and that the Holocaust wasn't special. Students at Columbia have chanted, "We don't want no Zionists here," alongside "Death to the Zionist state," and to "Go back to Poland, where our relatives lie in mass graves." The sick distortion illuminates the nature of anti-Semitism. In every generation, the Jewish people are blamed and scapegoated as responsible for the societal evil of the time. In Iran and in the Arab world, we were ethnically cleansed for our presumed ties to the Zionist entity. In Russia, we endured state-sponsored violence and were ultimately massacred for being capitalists. In Europe, we were the victims of genocide because we were communists and not European enough. And today, we face the accusation of being too European, painted as society's worst evils colonizers, and oppressors. We are targeted for our belief that Israel, our ancestral and religious homeland, has a right to exist. We are targeted by those who misuse the word Zionist as a sanitized slur for Jew, synonymous with racist, oppressive, or genocidal. We know all too well that anti-Semitism is shape-shifting. We are proud of Israel. The only democracy in the Middle East, Israel is home to millions of Mizrahi Jews, Jews of Middle Eastern descent, Ashkenazi Jews, Jews of Central and Eastern European descent, and Ethiopian Jews, as well as millions of Arab Israelis. Over 1 million Muslims, actually it's closer to 2 million, and hundreds of thousands of Christians and Druze. Israel is nothing short of a miracle for the Jewish people and for the Middle East more broadly. Our love for Israel does not necessitate blind political conformity. It's quite the opposite. For many of us, it is our deep love for and commitment to Israel that pushes us to object when its government acts in a way we find problematic. Israeli political disagreement is an inherently Zionist activity. Look no further than the protest against Netanyahu's judicial reforms from New York to Tel Aviv to understand what it means to fight for the Israel we imagine. All it takes are a couple of coffee chats with us to realize that our visions for Israel differ dramatically from one another. Yet we all come from a place of love and an aspiration for a better future for Israelis and Palestinians alike. If the last 6 months on campus have taught us anything, it is that a large and vocal population of the Columbia community does not understand the meaning of Zionism. Talk about a world that doesn't understand it. And consequently, does not understand the essence of the Jewish people. Yet despite the fact that we have been calling out the anti-Semitism we've been experiencing for months, our concerns have been brushed off and invalidated. So here we are to remind you. We sounded the alarm on October 12th when many protested against Israel while our friends and families' dead bodies were still warm. We recoiled when people screamed, "Resist by any means necessary," telling us we are all inbred and that we have no culture. We shuddered when an activist held up a sign telling Jewish students they were Hamas's next targets. And we shook our heads in disbelief when side chat users told us we were lying. We ultimately were not surprised when a leader of the CUAD encampment said publicly and proudly that Zionists don't deserve to live, and that we're lucky they are not just going out and murdering Zionists. We felt helpless when we watched students and faculty physically block Jewish students from entering parts of the campus we share, or even when they turn their faces away in silence. The silence is familiar. We will never forget. One thing is for sure, we will not stop standing up for ourselves. We are proud to be Jews, and we are proud to be Zionists. We came to Columbia because we wanted to expand our minds and engage in complex conversations. While campus may be riddled with hateful rhetoric and simplistic binaries now, it is never too late to start repairing the fractures and begin developing meaningful relationships across political and religious divides. Our tradition tells us, love peace and pursue peace. We hope you will join us in earnestly pursuing peace, truth, and empathy. Together we can repair our campus. Signed, Jewish students at Columbia University. Isn't that impressive? But it's not enough for you to have this and to look at it again. You need to share this with someone. You need to teach someone. We all have people in our family and in our lives that have no clue what Zionism is. That word was stolen from us, and they have reclaimed it for us. Thank you, students, for doing that. But we have an obligation to teach those around us. And yeah, we all have that member of our family who doesn't get it, so start there. But we have to talk. Let's be inspired by David Ben-Gurion.
ביום שישי, ה' באייר תש"ח, 14 במאי 1948, אחר הצהריים, באו המוזמנים אל בניין מוזיאון תל אביב בשדרות רוטשילד 16. הם התבקשו לשמור את סיבת ההזמנה, טקס הכרזת העצמאות, בסוד. אבל בבואם מצאו את חצי העיר ממתינה להם. סמוך לשעה 4 הגיע דוד בן גוריון. כל חייו היו מסע אל הרגע הזה.
זוהי זכותו הטבעית של העם היהודי להיות ככל עם ועם עומד ברשות עצמו במדינתו הריבונית, אשר תפתח לרווחה את שערי המולדת לכל יהודי ותעניק לעם היהודי מעמד של אומה שוות זכויות בתוך העמים. לפיכך נתכנסנו אנו חברי מועצת העם, נציגי היישוב העברי והתנועה הציונית, ביום סיום המנדט הבריטי על ארץ ישראל. ותוקף זכותנו הטבעית וההיסטורית ועל יסוד החלטת עצרת האומות המאוחדות, אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל, היא מדינת ישראל.
Please join me in this. Eternal God, receive our prayers for the peace and security of the state of Israel and its people. Spread blessing upon the land and upon all who labor in its interest. Protect Israeli soldiers as they defend our people against missiles and hate. Protect the innocent among the Palestinian people, that they may be safe and free from death and injury. Inspire Israel's leaders to both defend our people and follow the ways of righteousness and compassion. Maybe get our hostages back too. Remove from the hearts of our people fear, hatred, malice, strife, and vengeance. May the Jewish people scattered throughout the earth stand strong in solidarity with the state of Israel in times of war and peace. And may they be infused with the ancient hope of Zion. May our people be encouraged by the symbol of Jerusalem as the eternal city of peace. May the state of Israel be a blessing to all its inhabitants and to the Jewish people everywhere. May she be a light to the nations of the world. Amen. We take a few moments for silent reflection.
Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu. aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Seth Ammerman, Janet Agrovich, August Al, Bobby Barco, Ira Berkowitz, Mort Berlant, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Pauline Bronstein, Carol Brindell, Francie Brown, Betsy Hammer Carr, John Castro, Melissa Champer, Talia Sorowski, Bonnie Coleman, Deanna Courtwright, Ellen Dover, Toby Ellman, Diane Fisher, Jenna Fishoff-Hyman, Holly Fugit, Juan Garcia, Josie Garcia, Marcia Garcia, Marcia Gieser, Libby Gray, Jack Haas, Olivia Hand, Avram Harris, Linda Harris, Rob Hawes, Linda Hoffman, Sharon Jackson, Rolando Johnson, Mimi Jones, Sylvia Karp, Albert Cadis, Joy Kaiser, Noad Lahat, Elizabeth Ledwitz, Dan Lee, Carol Lerner, Jackie Levinson, Bobby Lotman, Janice Lucero, Maureen McIntyre, Stephen Marceri, Rich McCarthy, Scott McCaslin, Bev Mendel, Misty Johnson, Barbara Wanamaker-Neiman, Naomi Nakano Matsumoto, Nathan Orloff, Glenn Overstreet, Gilbert Palazzo, Melanie Pearson, Barry Pinsley, Alice Pons, Ann Port, Sherry Prezant, Stephanie Rasmussen, Ramon Rivas, Linda Rogers, Julius Rodriguez, Daryl Sanchez, Laura Sanders, Victoria Schneider, Norman Schoenfeld, Norma Slavitt, Laura Sepulstra, Rabbi Jonathan Stein, Jonathan Stern, Margie Stein, Donna Thyman, Sue Timpson, Carol Turnbull, Harriet Weintraub, Sue Witten, Monica Wiley, Yaakov Ben Eda, Megan Young, Rich Zerberger. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. We wish upon those we mentioned and those who remain unnamed, a refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery, as we join together, praying for their better health with Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misheberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Misheberach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Jeff Rudy, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Erev Shabbat service led by Rabbi Magat and Kanta Shafritz. After the service, we invite you to the Temple House for the Kiddush, Hamotzi and Oneg. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Extended Schwartz family in honor of Irving's bar mitzvah, Bubby Gail Knopf, Aunt Karen Schwartz, Uncle Ian LaForce, Aunt Debbie Schwartz, and Uncle Rabbi Howie Stein. Mazel tov to Jay Schwartz and Mary Coit on the bar mitzvah of their son, Irving, tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. On June 2nd at 10 a.m., join the tea community for our annual Temsis meeting, during which you don't want to miss our annual slideshow. Come a bit early for some bagels and schmooze. Stay after enjoying the religious school end-of-year lunch, including a special Mr. Softy ice cream treat from Rabbi Magat. Save the date for the next Rock Shabbat on May 31st, the next Shabbat in Nature on June 8th, and very important, Abrahamic Alliance event on June 9th. This is a unity walkathon, which will be a wonderful opportunity to mingle with our Christian and Muslim neighbors in a show of unification rather than fracture. Check online on how to register. Next Friday, we hope to see you on the Zoom for our Shabbat at home at 6:30 p.m. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
And then in 2 weeks, we got Rock Shabbat. Yeah. We continue. The Lena invites you to please rise if you're able.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula leotzer breshit, shehu note shamayim v'yosed haaretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים במעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים, ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
It is our minhag, our custom here at Temple Emanu-El, upon hearing the name of your loved one, to stand as a sign of love or grief if you choose to, and to remain standing till all the names on our yard site list have been recited. Then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning for Jade Gans, beloved niece of our own Barbara Smead. We also think of those that are grieving for the following Israelis that died this week. Sergeant Bitzalel David Shashua, 22 years old. Sergeant Ilan Cohen, 20 years old. Sergeant Daniel Chemu, 20 years old. Sergeant Gilad Are Bohem, 22 years old. Captain Roy Beit Yaakov, 22 years old. Sergeant Ira Yair Gispan, 19 years old. Staff Sergeant Ariel Sim, no age. Sergeant Daniel Levy, 19. Sergeant Ermias Merkaya, 19. Sergeant Yosef Dasa, 19. Sergeant Ite Livne, 19 years old. We also think of the following that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Mark Pollock, Marilyn Fuller, Michael Blevins, Scott Toddy. We also think of all those Israelis that died since October 7th, as well as all the Palestinian civilians who have died. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first-year mourning for Sheldon Aronowitz, Mark Atlas, Frederick J. Billmeyer, Sally Colby, Mal Kosman, Lucille Delman, Jenny Deshotsky, Vera Doktorovich, Ingrid Eisenstein, Professor David Ellenson, Federica Edis, Ruth Fox, Meyer Goldberg, Vicky Nosanoff Goldman, Bobby Gornberg, Justin Gross, Lily Hannon, Marilyn Hanloff, Lee Henderson, Lynn Hendrickson, Roosevelt Hoover, Helen Ibsen, Kenneth Johnson, David German, Bob Kaiser, David Lemon, Sandra Lemon, Daniel Long, Nancy Markham, Jean Marksheimer, Maria Bitta McClure, Margie Milrad, Roz Mishkin, Ken Nist, Carolyn Offenhartz, William Poor, Nancy Polliger, Heidi Preston, Perry Perwin, Harriet Reisner, Janessa Schwartz, Judith Schwartz, Lois Starr, Shirley Stein, Guy Stern, Marcia Thaves, Eleanor Chastain Williams. We also think of the following yard sites we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Rachel Epstein-Annan, Irvin Becker, Joseph Borditsky, Max Boxer, Ruth Bryman, Bessie Engelman-Cohn, Edith Donath, Victor Donath, Toby Fagon, Marilyn Feinstein, George I. Franklin, Varda Friedman, Craig Cardinell, Martin Kirschenbaum, Ina Korek, Helen Landman, Abe Lerner, Sid Levin, Morton Levin, David Levine, Florence Libglid, Frederick Lissick, Rita Lauren, Jack McKay, Kate Maimon, Gary Melman, Michael Meltzer, John Meyer, Percy Mosto, Lena Neymark, Solly Orloff, Harry Pollock, Sheldon Prezant, Sam Ravel, Dewey Richards, Anthony Rose, Burton Rubenstein, Solomon Sahim, Efred Shemek, Betty Schwartz, Francis Singer, Herb Terrell, Caitlin Vo, Charlene Weinstein, Jack Weiss, Laura Zollers. Zichronam livracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we all rise to recite together our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei rabba ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malachutei b'chayechon av yomechon uv'chayei d'chol be'Israel b'agalav uzman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yipa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'taleh ve'talal shmei d'kudesha b'reichu le'olam min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran belma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba meshamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'akol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. please be seated.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
Please rise for the Israeli national anthem.
כל עוד בלבב פנימה, נפש יהודי הומייה, ולפתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון סופיה. עוד לא תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you in the Temple House for Oneg. And Irvy's going to lead us in Kiddush.